I think it just, for me, self-publishing, it was a choice that I made in the sense of just I wanted to, it was a new approach when I first started writing the book. I took a class at the Writer's Store, a seminar on how to self-publish, when it was just kind of starting to become more of a prominent option for authors. And then in the years that I was writing the book, it had expanded to become even more user-friendly than it was. But I would say that just do your homework about the time that it's going to take to learn to get your book formatted, not only for paperback, but for Kindle and ebook, because there are different formats for ebook. If you're going to Nook or if you're going to Kindle, or for iBook, there's different formats, and you can, the thing that if you can afford it, hire people to do it because it is worth getting it done right, but you can learn to do it yourself if you want to put in the time. Also, one of the things that I would strongly advocate, which I did, was it was very important to me to get the book into bookstores, at least to some degree. For me, it was a way of legitimizing it as this belongs here, this is real. The first time I got a proof of my paperback in the mail, I think that was probably the most exciting moment for me, to actually see it as a physical book. The second most exciting moment was to see it on a bookstore shelf. And what I would say to encourage people to do that, even if you plan on having largely sales online on Amazon or different platforms, which there's obviously a whole world of online sales that you can explore, certainly. But if you are aiming to do a hard copy or paperback, take the time and make the effort to conduct the outreach to bookstores, and not just cold calling or sending them query letters. I actually went to bookstores personally in Los Angeles, throughout Colorado. I grew up in Colorado, so I went to the Tattered Cover in Denver. I went to Between the Covers in Telluride. I went out to New York, went to McNally Jackson, went to the Strand, talked to their book buyers personally, handed them the book with a professional letter enclosed. I think it makes such a difference when they see a person in front of them, because you have to understand that they get countless inquiries from people all over the world who send their books, who send letters, wanting to get that precious space on the store shelves. And even at the Strand in New York, when I talked to their book buyer, he said, don't take it as a defeat if your book doesn't get into the bookstore. He said, it takes us weeks, be prepared that it'll take us weeks to look at it because we get so many submissions. But don't think that it's not a quality piece just because it doesn't get onto our shelves. And they were so kind. They sent me a letter after they had read the book, and saying to that effect that we regret that because we have limited space in the bookstore, we're not able to include it on our shelves, but we encourage you to continue writing your book. We greatly enjoyed reading your book. And I wrote back to them, thanked them for their time, and said how much it meant to me that they took the time to read it and consider it. And the next thing I knew, it was on their website. So even though it's not on their store shelves for McNally Jackson or the Strand, it's on their website. And then doing a quick Google search, I realized it's on the website for Powell's. It's on the Barnes & Noble website. It's on all of these different platforms that I never dreamed it would make it on. And the other important thing for authors to do is to register and put your book on Ingram Spark, because that is the platform where bookstores will order from. That is their distributor. And put it at the highest discount rate you can, at least 50% or 55%, I believe, is the highest, because then you make it that much more attractive to bookstores to take a chance on buying a copy to put in their bookstore. And some bookstores, independent bookstores, will even buy directly from you, which Skylight Books in Los Angeles did for me. And they were actually the very first bookstore where my book showed up. And they're an independent bookstore in Los Feliz where it's a true independent bookstore where people go and get a coffee and sit down and just browse. So anything you can do to make yourself known to bookstores, to different venues and outlets, do it and take the time and make the effort, because that will make all the difference in the world.